Hey everybody, this is Michelle from Florida Keys Birding. Here today we're going to talk about a little teeny tiny bird that you may or may not have seen, but you've probably heard. It makes a little silly Z noise, so you might have heard them buzzing around, but you may not have seen them because they're super small and tiny. It's the blue-gray gnatcatcher. So let's get right into it and talk about food. So, regardless of what the name sounds like, it does eat small insects, spiders, and invertebrates. But on the contrary, gnatcatcher's diet is not primarily gnats. So, fun fact. They do eat small prey alive. Sounds a little barbaric. But yes, they eat it alive, and if it's a larger prey, they actually remove the wings and beat their bodies on a perch before eating them. The gnatcatcher is a savage. Wow. Okay, so that's what they like to eat. That's what they like to do. Just for a small bird, really savage. Okay, so the habitat and range includes South Florida, where it winters, and year-round it can be found in the rest of Florida, like Central and North Florida, Gulf Coast, Texas, Louisiana, and Alabama, and very southern tips of Georgia. They like deciduous trees and mixed wooded habitats and moist areas near dry edges. So you can find them, in forests, hardwood hammocks, different tree areas with like an understory, and you'll see them up top and you'll see them down below, but they do, you will find them mostly up top in the, tops of the trees. So if you want to find one, kind of look around for little tiny small movement in the tops of trees. That's where I always find them. And I always find them by listening to their little Z sound that I will play at the end. So their nesting range has been shifting northward since the early 20th century, and over the last quarter of that century, the shift was about 200 miles, and it's been increasing because of the average temperatures. So that's according to allaboutbirds.com. They're teeny tiny birds, like I said, very difficult to photograph. They're also very fast, so they're just buzzing here and there all over the place. So that kind of gets us into behavior. They're very energetic. They rarely slow down. I can tell you this for a fact that this is true. I'm so frustrated when I'm trying to get pictures of them. They flutter after small insects, and they'll take food from spider webs. What little thieves. They will also use this webbing for their nests. So that brings us to nesting. So the male and the female jointly choose a nest site, and they both build the nest together. So they're, building the nest together, they're building their little home area, they're both participating in the construction of it. They often build a series of nests during the summer to counteract the effects of predation, mite infestation, and cowbird parasitism. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. Parasitism, if you want to know a little bit more about it, it's like whenever another bird comes and lays their egg in a nest from a different bird species, and then that bird hatches, or it either kills the other birds or it pushes the eggs out of the nest. It's really kind of, creepy and not nice. So yeah, they can, succumb to that. The materials from earlier nests are frequently recycled to build later nests, which may be why they are usually completed more quickly than the first nest. So the male often builds the second nest nearly by himself, and the female will finish the inside of the first nest with softer materials. So clutch size, it's usually 1 to 3 eggs. They usually do 1 to 2 broods per year. They incubate for about 11 to 15 days, and their nesting period is 10 to 15 days. Eggs can be a pale blue color spotted with reddish to dark brown. So a fun fact is that the blue-gray gnatcatcher is the northernmost occurring species of gnatcatcher and the only true migratory one. I saw my first one probably 2 weeks ago, and then I saw one outside my window yesterday, which, I recognize by the little Z call, which I'm going to play that in just a few minutes. Another thing is that they are only about 4.3 inches in length. Like I said, they're very small, and they're easy to find by their little Z call. We're going to listen to it now. We're going to listen to it now. So I will tell you that they sound exactly like that. So if you're walking around and you want to find one, it's best to just listen. That's a good birding tip that I have. I am going to make another video on birding tips for beginners and how to find birds. That's one of my tips that I'll reveal now, is by listening. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more about the blue-gray gnatcatcher. You may or may not know about this bird, or you may or may not have seen or heard this bird because it's so very small. But comment below if you've seen this bird or heard this bird, or if you've heard of this bird before. Make sure that you subscribe and turn on your notification for more birding videos. Thanks!